Let me first state that a lot of people say agriculture and agribusiness is risky. And I also tell them that is why we exist. There's no industry that doesn't have risk. And I ask a basic question. If you put a seed of maize into a soil and you want to fly from London to Accra, which one is more risky? Of course, flying is more risky, but we fly every day and every night. So we cannot describe agriculture as a risky business, and therefore we don't need to venture. Otherwise, we'll all go hungry. So that is the first thing. So yes, agric is risky, but people have made it. What worked, what didn't work.
Yes.
Now, if you take the landscape of Ghana agribusiness sector, we can pick certain commodities as example. Let's pick rice. We are less than 50% self-sufficiency. A crop that doesn't take more than 4 months to mature. So why are we importing over $500 million worth of rice when we have all the resources that can help us? And it is all because we think that rice production is risky. So let's demystify it and let us see what is in it there that bring businesses and what model can be used. Under the Mastercard Foundation program, there were a number of rice commercial farmers who were confined to certain areas. And the government had introduced an enclave production, and I will use one example in Kasunya. And one of the commercial farmers had 650 outgrowers in that enclave. With the support of what we call ecosystem facilitation, where you have people who are connecting market, connecting finance, connecting technology, doing capacity building, and facilitating the industry or that particular value chain. In a space of 2.5 years, this same person has increased his outgrowers from 650 to 30,000.
Wow.
In 2.5 years.
That's very impressive.
And that has created a lot of rice production in Ghana. And Honorable is here and she can attest to that fact. Let us come to poultry.
Yes.
We produce about 10% of what we consume, shamefully. And if you want to go into broiler production in Ghana, it takes 6 weeks. 6 weeks, the birds are ready for table. Yet we import 90% of what we consume and spend hundreds of millions of dollars for import. There was a company that had invested $3 million in processing, and it had been defunct for 3 years. We came in, thieves have started stealing their pumping machines. We came in and said, no, we can do it. We can turn things around. So how do we do it? We look at his value chain, supply chain activities, and we started connecting the dots. And with some catalytic funding and the same ecosystem facilitation, in less than a year, the company that was defunct was supplying between 150 and 200,000 birds per month to KFC.
Oh, that's impressive.
So for us, we can talk about the risk.
Yes.
And that's the reason why we are here. That's why we continue to innovate. If there's no risk, we cannot innovate.
Of course not.
So I've given you rice. Then let's come to chicken. Then let's come to the almighty tomato production, where we are also about 50% or 60% self-sufficient. A crop that also takes 3 months to mature. Why are we spending $400 and $500 million to import tomato? And why do we see it as a huge problem that cannot be surmounted? With some support from Ghana Exim Bank, we started greenhouse production. It has taken us 3 years to know and understand how best to grow vegetables in greenhouse. The last time we went to our board, 2 years ago, we're asking the board to invest $30,000 First time. That's 2 years ago.
Yes.
The last time we went to a board, we are taking $25 million facility to expand our greenhouse program.
Wow.
So in 2 years, from 30,000 to 25 million.
And you're selling all of that tomatoes in Ghana?
In
or you're
fact,
exporting?
the $25 million investment will not even satisfy more than 3% of the Ghanaian markets.
So there's
More
room.
than-
There's room.
There is
to grow.
room. There is room. I mean, you can invest $300, $500 million, and you will just do about 20-30% of the market gap. I went to Spain. There's a place called Ameria. It was a desert, like rocky areas. They were using the place for movie. As I speak today, that place has been turned into a hub for vegetable production, and they are exporting about $6 billion worth of vegetables every year, and domestic market is over $5 billion. And that
So how did they do it?
no, it's
Water?
greenhouse and net house production, and this is not it's not technology that comes from the sky. But it is because we like talking about the problem and not providing the solution.
Solutions.
So everyone speaks about, oh, it's risky, oh, it's difficult. And please, agric is not treasury bill where you put in your money and then you go and sleep, and then in 3 months you look at your phone and see whether the interest on your investment has been posted. Please, no, that is not agric. That is not agribusiness. Agribusiness is for people who have the tenacity and the patience to wait and go through the system. But once you are able to go through it, there's no way you will not make it.
It's good to know.
We started 3 years ago. My staff were around 30. Now we are over 200.
Oh, wow.
Because we have gone through the process, we understand it, and we know how to make things work better.
Wonderful. This is an amazing testimony. I'm sure people will want to talk to you some more after this panel discussion.